A spectacle of lights, a showcase of what humans can achieve beyond the limits of our bodies. A system that can reshape human potential. Japan's relationship with robotics is unique. It's the world's #1 industrial robot manufacturer. But more than that, the dream of a robotic future feels real here. Anime, manga, construction, manufacturing, hospitality, you name it. Chances are, no matter where you go in Japan, you'll find a robot created by a future-minded industrialist and embraced by the public. These machines mean big business for Japan, with the country producing and designing more industrial robots than anywhere else in the world. I'm Haslinda Amin, and this is Momentum.
Japan's dominance in the field of robotics is no accident. The country of 123 million people began developing industrial robots in the 1960s and became a leader in robotics production in the 1980s.
Japan's unique relationship with robotics is shaped by both culture and crisis.
Its rapidly aging population, a labor crunch, strong government support in robotics production and development, and its tradition of animism, the belief that everything, animate and inanimate, embody a spirit, fanned the flames of Japan's love affair with robots.
12% of Japan's convenience stores don't open 24 hours due to a labor shortage. A recent study found Japan may face a shortfall of more than 11 million workers by 2040. Companies are betting on robots to fill those roles. These robots could work 24/7, transporting all manner of goods and gliding along their precisely calculated paths that synchronize movements of flawless dance. Isn't it beautiful when you witness the meeting of human ambition and mechanical might? I'm in Tokyo to meet Japanese robot manufacturer Teleexistence, which just raised $170 million from investors. So, Jin, how do companies benefit from having your retail robot?
Especially in Japan. So people tend to think when you use a robot, maybe the companies can bring down the cost, right? But in the context of Japan, no, that's not the way it is. Because we, as you may know, we already facing the labor shortage issues, aging issues, right? So it's not about the cost. It's about how you're gonna run your business in more sustainable way. Our robot is not replacing all the human jobs. We wanna automate the repetitive job, the boring job.
Jin's ambitions extend beyond reshaping retail work. He wants the average person to benefit from his robotic inventions too. Do you think robots and humans can coexist well, or will there be tensions?
People tend to think, it's a bad thing because, the robot AI taking the job from them. We want to use the robot with the AI as a basic asset, meaning people own these basic assets and then have an income through the robot. We want to let the individuals to own the robot to have a basic income for their living. Our goal is after we automate the job with robot, we try to create the surplus for the humans. And then humans can use that surplus to spend more good time with their families or spend time for what they want to do. So that's the society we want to create with robots.
Teleexistence is part of a wave of tech startups that have popped up in Japan, in part due to Japan's history of robotic innovation and a younger generation shying away from the idea of lifelong employment at big firms. Has it been surprising that there's been so much innovation coming out of Japan? Are we seeing a resurgence of innovation?
In this era, why there's a chance for the Japanese startup to going out is because we don't have to deal with the language or cultures. So, for example, robotics. Let's say our robot is picking and placing the rice bowls in the convenience stores, right? When we bring our robot to the US, only difference is picking the sandwich and then placing to the shelf. So we don't really have to deal with the culture or language to provide our service in different countries. So that is, in that sense, we have a more chance to do that.
In 2021, Teleexistence partnered with FamilyMart, a major convenience store chain here in Japan. It's deployed 300 robots in their stores so far. Next year, they plan to deploy 3,000 across Japan. And they're also expanding to the United States. For Teleexistence, what does the US market represent?
In terms of the business, of course, that's the biggest market in the world.
Make it there, make it everywhere.
Right. So we want to actually deploy the robot in the biggest market. And then, because we are doing the hardwares, right? So if you can deploy the hardwares in the biggest market, meaning we can bring down our cost too. And then we can deploy the robot to the rest of the world. To us, that has a pretty critical influence on us.
Jin hopes as generative AI develops, the next generation of retail robots will be able to do even more.
The current robot we deploy right now is a single task robot, meaning the robot can only do one thing, restocking the drinks in the backyard. But if really the generative AI evolves, and when I say evolves, meaning not only generating the text or image or videos, but if the foundation model can generate the motions, then the robot can also move from a single task to multitasking robot, because we don't have to spend too much cost to teach and train the motions to the robot. Yeah, so that's the direction we look into right now.
Japanese firms have historically excelled in creating robots. Now, companies like Teleexistence are taking its expertise in hardware and cementing Japan's technological edge by developing their own software.
We built our hardwares, the customized hardwares. You cannot just buy the robot in the market and then apply to the convenience stores in Japan, because that's not enough. We have to build the customized one, right? When we control the robot, right, we combine with the AI machine learning with remote control. That's another differentiation.
My visit to Teleexistence showed me that in Japan, robots are not just a solution to the socio-economic issues the country is facing. They represent the possible future of work in all sectors of the economy.
Robots are not just rewriting the equation in retail, they're also coming for agriculture. I'm in Osaka, where robots are being deployed in farming. So Joe, this is a harvester, but it is not an ordinary harvester.
Yeah.
I want to take a look, shall we?
Okay. こちらのコンバイン、米を刈る収穫する機械になっています。ここのモニターに表示されているのは、ここタンパク質もしくは水分とあと収穫の量、これらの情報が、表示されています。
How is that useful for farmers?
そうですね、この機械にはGNSS がついているので、その GNSS の情報と一緒にこの情報をまとめます。で、その情報何に使うかっていうと、来年ですね、来年のお米の作るためにもっとよりよくもっと美味しくしていくため、日本のお米もっと美味しくたくさん取れるようにするためにその情報っていうのを使っています。
Can What other pain points are you trying to address? What challenges are there?
農家の人口が高齢化が進んでいて、日本の、農家戸数がどんどん減っていっていると、そういった中で農業の担い手さんがどんどんいなくなっているので、まず何をしなければいけないかというと、そういう機械をですね動かす人たちがいなくなるんで、自動運転をどんどん進めないといけないと。同時に農業のいろんなノウハウデータを持った人たちがいなくなるということで、いわゆる今まで経験と勘でやってた農業をデータ化して見える化して、でそれをシステムの中に落とし込んで。
So, having said that, Ken, what's the future of farming? How will it look like? I mean, this is an industry that's been so labor intensive. How much will that change?
将来は本当に農業ですね、自宅にいて全ての操作がコントロールできる。でそれで収量とか品質とか上げていくようなことができるようになる農業になると思ってます。これがデータで結びつくことによって、いかに本当に需要と供給がバランスを取れてですね、廃棄ロスもなくなる。
Risks like uncertain weather, yields, or crop prices are a big part of the agriculture industry. Kubota's smart systems aim to reduce those risks.
When you take a look at farming, there are different requirements. You know, farms are different sizes, they grow different crops, different seasons for them. How do these machines and robots meet the various requirements? How do they adapt?
いろんな農業、お米作りとか畑作とか果樹とかね、いっぱいあると思うんですけども、それは全部その農家のデータとかその作業計画とかですね、全部その計算してシステムの中で組み上げることができます。で人を雇ってどう動かしていくとかですね、でそれでいろんないろんな大きな大規模な人、中規模な人でもそれを使うことによって自分に合ったファーミングシステムをですね、作業計画から種まきからですね収穫まで一連の作業を計画して、それを全部システムの中で完成できるようになりますので、多分それぞれに応じた、その農家さんに合ったシステム作りがですね、自分たちで、作れるんだと。
Because of their small size, Japanese farms need compact and precise machines. Kubota has cornered this market and is pushing technology they hoped will transform how these small plots are managed.
でそれを今カメラでいろんなデータを集めてきて、それを取ってどのタイミングでやるかという、今人が本当に人のノウハウでやっているところをロボットでやれるような研究もしてます。そういったところをどうやって強みとして出していくかですね。
With the use of robots, crops are uniformly consistent and food waste is reduced. All good news for a farm's bottom line. Kubota's research institute in Japan is building systems for autonomous driving, which they hope will be revolutionary.
クボタのテクノロジーっていうのは、小さい小型の機械をたくさん、今の農業ではですね、大型の機械が田んぼや畑に入ることによってソイルコンパクションで非常に排水が悪くなったりとかで作物の生育が悪くなるという問題が起こってます。で将来的にはそういう我々みたいに小さなトラックでたくさんいっぱいですね、農業機械を動かす、それを連携させて群生業で動かしていく、そういったところに一つの特徴があるかなと思ってます。で同時にそういった今の GPS とテクノロジーとかカメラを使った制御によりまして、基本的にプラスマイナス2、3センチの制御でコントロールできるようになってます。
Beyond improving operational efficiency, these robots can also help farmers analyze and review what they do on the ground to ensure better yields and higher quality.
そういうデータをどんどんコレクトしていって集めることで、今の AI の解析を使えばいろんな場所、地域によって違いもいろいろあるでしょうけども、そういったことで正しい品質とか生産量とかですね、増やしていけるようなデータ、農業ができるんじゃないかなと。GPS で使ってどこでどういった、クロップがね、どんな品質のものが取れるかっていうのは全部データ化されていきますので、回すことによって、いいものが取れると。農業っていうのはやはり人間が生きていく上で絶対欠かせない食料を生産しているという大きなこの役割になっているわけで、それをいかに効率よくやって儲かるビジネスにしていくかと。その儲かるためにはやはりコストを下げると同時にいいものを作って高く売ったりとかですね。
If we were to go to a farm in the future, how would it look like?
多分将来はですね、畑田んぼに行ったらたくさんの機械がもう勝手に動いてて、しかも 24時間で1週間、自由に動いてると。で農家の人はどこにいるんかなと思ったら家でコーヒー飲んだりお酒飲んだりしてる。また奥さんと一緒にどっか旅行に行ってるかもしれないですね。そういった状態でもきちっと農業ができてる、そんな世界になるんじゃないかなと思います。
With Japanese farmers rapidly aging and a nationwide labor crunch, it makes economic sense to transform the agricultural industry with robotics.
The decline in the number of farmers is the scenario playing out in Japan and globally. But to meet the world's needs, food production will have to increase 70% by 2050 compared with 2009. Enter robots. The global agriculture robots market was valued at just under $6 billion in 2021, and it's expected to hit $94 billion by the end of 2030. Visiting Kubota has shown me that the agricultural industry, known to be slow to digitize, can transform itself with robots. I wonder if construction, another industry slow to adopt automation, can innovate too.
I'm heading to Komatsu, which is a trailblazer in the construction industry. It is innovating, it is betting big on technology to counter Japan's labor crisis.
Shiki-san, is really exciting to see the smart construction technology that Komatsu has created. It has the potential to really transform an industry that's labor-intensive, also physically demanding for workers.
まず危険な作業が全て排除された建設現場になります。そして例えばきつい作業は全て機械がそれに代わって作業することになります。
The introduction of robots and automated processes in construction means Komatsu can customize the building process for each site.
とにかくお客様の課題解決のために自ら我々がお客様の現場に立ってお客様のお仕事をオペレーション理解しています。まず建設現場で起きていることをサイバー空間に忠実に再現します。それによって建設現場が見えるようになります。そしてその現場の施工の仕方を最適化していく。最適化された施工計画をもう一度現場に落とす。こんなことができるようになるんです。
The number of construction workers in Japan fell to 4.8 million in 2023 from a peak of 6.9 million in 1997. With labor shortages a long-term problem, companies like Komatsu have turned to robotics to fill the gaps.
例えば建設産業でいきますと近い将来数年先には、必要な労働力に対して 30% ぐらい、労働力が不足すると言われています。はい、我々のスマートコンストラクションは、今お客様が抱えている深刻な労働力不足、そういった社会問題の解決にですね必ずそのお役立てできるというふうに思っています。とにかく特に日本では、地震とかですね大きな災害が発生します。こういう時にですね建設業の方々の労働力不足というのは、災害の復旧とか復興とかそういったものにですね非常にスピードが遅れてしまいます。
Komatsu's vision of fully autonomous construction machines is still years away. To realize its goal of smart construction, Komatsu has formed partnerships with other technology companies like Japanese telco NTT and Sony. So what is the vision? Do you see the construction industry in the end being, I guess, populated by machines, robots, and drones right from the start?
その将来の建設現場というのは本当に若い方々や、そういう方々が、たくさん活躍して生き生きとしてですね、活躍できるそんな未来の現場になると思っています。あと例えば自宅から好きな時間にですね、建設現場の機械を、遠隔で操作する、それから危険なところは無人の検機が動いている、そんな現場になるんじゃないかと思っています。
While robots and smart systems are not yet capable of working independently on construction sites, Komatsu is already deploying a hybrid method where machines and humans work side by side.
その通りですね。現場に行かなくちゃいけない時はもちろん行きますが、事務所でオフィスで、できることはオフィスでする。それから現場に行かなくてもですね、遠隔で例えば研究を操作するとか、いろいろな計画を作るとか、そういったものはオフィスでできるようになるんだと思います。そういう建設現場になることを夢見てます。
Smart tools and robots are streamlining construction sites across Japan. Drones take photos of a site, and the data collected is processed by Komatsu's app and then analyzed by its human staff.
So we are looking at our job site in overseas. You see the 3D data here, right? Mm-hmm. So this is taken by a drone and also processed with our Smart Construction Edge 3D data in a matter of short time.
But you talk about data. What data exactly did the drone pick up?
Location information and also the color and the height those kind of data is included. So based on that, if you move the picture into our Smart Construction Edge, the device, it rapidly changes the picture into 3D data and then upload it to this Smart Construction dashboard seamlessly.
So, Mr. Shiki, with this kind of data, you save cost and you minimize errors. But it also means that your workforce will have to be skilled and talented. Is it difficult to get that kind of?
Very easy.
It's very, like he said, it's very easy. You know why? Because I'm not from, I don't have any construction background.
Yeah.
I studied marketing in university, but looking at the job site like a construction professional. So I'll say this technology is very easy for everyone.
The narrative surrounding robots right now is pretty negative. It's about how robots will take away jobs. But in the course of a conversation, with innovators, you get a sense that robots are there to perform the jobs that people don't want to do. In Japan, robots offer a vision of what the future might look like, one where people's time is freed from hard labor and menial tasks. But skepticism is justified. We've been promised this before, that technology will make our lives easier, only to find out it's not so simple. Here in Japan, those concerns are paired with hope. Technological optimism is what drives Japan's scientists to pioneer the robotics revolution and remodel our world into one where everyone, human and robot, can live and work and play side by side. Check out our next Momentum episode.